Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Fixing Up the Commonwealth in Sunshine Tidings. I hope you're all well this week. I hope you have been busy and sit back, relaxing for about the next 20 odd minutes. Just enjoy where we're up to with this build. So we're going to concentrate in this area here today. This whole foundation's about to be taken away. I really just put it in as a kind of placeholder, and also I was trying a few ideas before I done this build. So let's get into the build menu. So initially this the start of this build fights me, and there's a few issues. I have a few issues to start with, but then it suddenly clicks into gear and I start figuring things out. Thank you to Chaos in Fallout for the idea, even though you don't know it, mate. I asked you for some feedback last week with regards to the little stall that I built to our left, and Chaos gave me a little bit of feedback and a little bit of an idea, and actually then took it and applied it to this build. So you'll see that all makes sense fairly shortly, and you'll see. So I'm trying a couple of ideas here. I'm going to skip forward in a second to get to where we kind of start to really make some inroads, because there's a lot of faffing for about the next 10 minutes. So yeah, after about 5 or 7 minutes of faffing around, I came up with using this this particular foundation, and then I thought, well, maybe these stairs here would be a better idea to put here. And it takes a while just to get this in the right place, and a lot of faffing around, a lot of adjusting, moving, adjusting, etc. So I'm going to skip forward until we get these in place, because yeah, you don't need to see another 2 minutes of me trying to position a set of stairs. As usual though, as I've said many times before, it was important to get this kind of sort of right, or roughly where I needed it to be to start with, because the whole build is going to be based off of this one foundation set of stairs, and you'll see as we go through what I mean. But okay, so that's kind of floating there, and so I've got to come up with some kind of solution for that floating. And so what we end up coming up with actually works very well. So I'm going to use these pallets, find one that fits first. Yep, that one, and it's a green one, which is great. So I'm going to use the pillar, and you can see now we're starting to run out of room, and by the end of this build we have even less room to work with. So you have to put this down somewhere. Pillar glitch it. There we go. Select all, and then what I'm going to do, I like to get a distance away and then bring it up a level like that, and then we're going to have to put another one under there. And this kind of element on its own doesn't look real flash, but once you see the final build and see how this all starts to work, it all actually fits in very well. And this build, I'm really happy. It's probably one of my favourite parts of the settlement, this build so far, and I'm keeping stum about what that might be, although I'm sure the thumbnail will give it away anyway, but never mind. So this one fights me a little bit. I need to finagle a lot until this one goes green, and again there we go. I understand sometimes why you can just jiggle it around, it stays red and all of a sudden it'll go green for no apparent reason. There we go, we've got a little stairway up there. We get a bit of frame drop there, and it really needs a little bit more just to bring it down to the level we're on now. So yeah, I'm gonna just bring that up a level, because you can see it's kind of floating, the top one's floating, so we're going to bring that up to a level where those both connect. That's great there, and then we're just going to snap off stairs in there, and that actually works perfect, just like that. There we go, and that all works. So I'm going to build something in here. I'm going to make a building right in front of us on this foundation. It's only got a single foundation width and length, so effectively just a square box. And I'm going to use some of my favorite metal walls here. Once again, we're in USO now. I don't know why these walls haven't been mapped so that they snap to foundations and stuff. So, you can see here it does, although it's going green, it's not snapping, which it should. Some do, some don't. It's really strange. This door I put in, I take out, and then I put back in again. Probably won't show you. Yeah, and it's, again, you know, a lot of this build in the marketplace and the surrounding buildings is influenced by Diamond City, so I'm kind of going for that vibe here. Across the other side, make sure this is kind of sort of straight, like that. Which, with the controller, sometimes these really fine adjustments aren't as easy as they might look. That's close enough there. And as you can see, we're trying to make sure that we get this working as quickly as possible and as accurate as possible. Now that clips into there, so it clips into the back, it won't clip into there, and it'll clip into there. So I don't know what goes on, I don't know why these walls won't snap, but it's really strange why they won't snap. But anyway, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes, and you'll see in a second, if you vary the angle, there you go, suddenly it snaps in. So yeah, if the developer's watching, it would be appreciated if you would kind of path these so that they snap. It would make life a lot easier. Although it's not a major drama, we can kind of muddle through with place anywhere. It's not a major drama for me, but I could see it would be an issue for other people. There we go. There we have a square box. So it's all good. So far so good. So skipping way ahead now, I've actually put half a floor into this building, you see, like that. And now what I'm trying to do, I wanted a recessed, as he falls off for about the 15th time, I want a recessed kind of roof here. In the end, I actually end up completely, and you'll see in the final build, and I'll show you how I do it, but I actually end up, sorry for the weird angle, changing this roof in the end. When I stepped back, I wasn't fully happy with it, so I end up changing it quite significantly, but keeping these boards in place. So these wall boards are fantastic, and you've seen them being used several times in this build. There we go, and two on that side. There we go. So it's got like a little weird roof on it, like that. Like I said, I think the solution I end up coming up with in the finish is a much better solution, but for now we will leave it like that, and we will probably put a second part to that floor stroke roof in, and then leave it at that. So all good. As you can see, we've put that second part of the roof on, and now I'm going to concentrate on the section up to our left here. And in the building I'm originally copying, and you'll see right at the end what it is, but in the building I'm copying as a really, I'm going to put a door in. Again, why these pieces don't have doors that actually just snap into them, and maybe it's the door I'm using, I don't know, it's just, again, very strange. But anyway, there we go. It does kind of fit in there, so there's no major drama. There we go. All good. So we're going to need to move these ladders out, and then we'll start building in here. Now, as I was saying, the building that I'm copying had a certain thing or item in it, which we have in the game, but we don't have it exactly the same. So what I have to do is recreate that building as best I can from the building pieces I have, and that will kind of make sense once you know what I've built. And if you go back and look at it, it is in Diamond City, so it all kind of makes sense in a minute. So initially what I do is I put a couple of foundation blocks down, and they all fit nicely in there. I'll get rid of that first now. Yeah, just having a bit of a wander around. And then I start to work with the metal tab here, and I suddenly realise that I'm going to, so I have to go back and forward a little bit. So initially I'm going to use this bit here, and then I find a better solution that's going to work for me. But I suddenly realise that I'm going to have to change that foundation piece. So there's a bit of back and forward here between the warehouse tab, which is the foundation I'm using, and the metal tab, just till I get this foundation right. So I'm going to use this little half foundation, and we're going to pray that this is going to snap on, which it does perfectly there. And then we're going to have to take that other foundation out, that one there, put a half one in there, and snap a piece on the other end. There we go. And just hope that it will actually allow me to snap, because it's fairly close to the building there. And then I spot a better solution here. Here we go. Snap that on that end, take that one out. And there is a little bit of a kind of it's almost a ditch down in that space there that I keep falling into and get stuck in, so you can have a good old chuckle about that one several times during this build. So here we go, we've got our initial shape, which is looking, say, down in here. I keep getting stuck in here. So that's looking okay. I'm going to have to figure out how we're going to get up there, but we will in a second. And it's all looking as it should. So now what I've got to figure out, there's a couple of things that I've got to figure out. I've got to figure out how to fill these walls in at the back. And we'll probably just use those metal walls. Hopefully they'll snap. And you'll see in a second, not that one, it's a bit too short, that one, there. That'll snap in, and it will overlap a little bit at the back there. But I'm not too worried about that. Not too worried about that at all. And that one will snap there, beautiful. Oh, good. Yep. Now I need to find these end pieces, and I'm going to cut out the bit where I'm looking through numerous different menus to try and find these end pieces. Yes, I know. I'm doing a lot of chopping and changing today, but a lot of this stuff is just me flicking through menus. So if you want to watch about 40 minutes of me flicking through menus, now I've just seen this very special person who's walked into my little creation here and is stuck in the corner. There obviously is a mapping issue there, but anyway, I don't know. They'll just have to get used to that. So I'm going to end up with people in this corner all the time. But maybe that's the same person for last week from the warehouse conversion, just following me around. And I don't know. Obviously there's a mapping issue here. This one for some reason wants to snap in the opposite direction. I don't understand why. Yeah, I'm stuck in the ditch again. So I have to take the snapping off as well to get it to fit, but that's okay. You've seen me do this 100 times before. And they fit perfectly in there. Just like that. Eventually, at some point. They're guarding that. They're doing a very good job at guarding that back wall, though, I must admit. Anti-shimmer, we're good. Switch the snapping back on, and life is good again. Okay, all good. Starting to come together really nicely here. I'm liking the look. I've got to figure out, obviously, how to get up there and use that kind of whole thing. So we might do that next. Just try and figure out a solution to get up there. So I'm going to use a mod from the Master Plan series, and it's called Stairs, Ladders and Ramps, I think, or something very similar to that. There you go. And we're going to use the metal one, that one, thank you. And we'll probably use the third one along there. Yep, cool. Good job, I remembered that. Not that one, that one. We'll just stick that in there like that, and that actually sits nicely there. Now, all we need to do is to try and, what can we do to get up there? Maybe a little ramp. I wonder if there's a little ramp in this series. Too big? Oh, hang on. That looks about the right size. Is that? Hang on, come on. I need a shorter one. What about that one? There we go, perfect. And I know that's floating a little bit, but we will fix that issue up in a minute. That all works perfectly. Well, it does if I don't drop into that little ditch. Okay, so we're all starting to come together now. I like that. There we go. Oh, nice. I like these little railings too. Look. It's funny, you can have mods installed in your game for forever, and now I'm stuck. I've got to run all the way around the other side. You can have mods installed in your game forever and don't realise that there's all these parts that you have never used. I'm looking to see if this, oh, not that bit, does that, there we go, beautiful. Yeah, I like that. Hadn't planned on using that, but it's working for me. Okay, so all good so far. So we've just got to figure out how to connect those stairs there with that ramp there, and we should be good. So something I have been kind of thinking about for a while is building something that looked like a fallout shelter. So I guess this is as close as we're going to get. Put some supports in there. We don't really need them, but I think it's important just for the overall look. Now, we're friends down in the ditch. She's having the same problem I was having earlier. She's stuck down there. Now, I built a set of stairs for them right there, and they're not using them, so I don't know why they're running into those pathing issues. Oh, good. I like it. So, if we can block that gap there, and then we need to have that ramp look as though it's supported. I could put a little pillar in there, but I come up with a different solution here, and it's a good old favourite one as well. Let's get some boxes down in there, just under there. So I'm going to have to pillar that in by the looks of it, just to block up that gap there and make it look supported. So we're going to have to run all the way around the back just to be able to pillar glitch this box in, but such is the life of a Fallout builder. And I decided to get my favourite little, I don't know why this pillar, this big one, I like it so much, but I just do. I think it's because it's fairly tall and it's quite thin, so you can see more of the object you're using. Here's Ada. Oh, yeah, I've got to go all the way around just to put this box in. There we go. Beautiful. That fits like a glove, like it's been there forever. Drop it down. There we go. Beautiful. Oh, what are you doing with your? What are you doing? Oh, put it down there. No, there. Thank you. Okay, so we're just going to fashion a whole lot of stuff in here, little boxes and whatnot, just to build up this area here, and make it look all kind of, you know, people just dropped rubbish in there. By accident, I end up making a set of stairs here, but anyway, it is purely by accident. But anyway, what else? There's a little gap in there, and I think what we will do is we may well put some plyboard across that gap there, just to allow you to get into that area. There we go, just like that. That should, and this actually fits nicely. I have to do some finagling off camera, but it's pretty close with the initial way we do it. Now you'll be glad to know, guys, and this is going out to my friend and a friend of the channel, Proton Rods. I've started my next build, and next build, I'm still working on the hilltop settlement as is at the moment, but my next build will be at Cutler's Bend, and I have started building at Cutler's Bend, so keep an eye out for that one on the channel. It probably realistically won't be up for another 2 or 3 weeks, but at least I have started the process of building there. Now you can see how that's floating. I end up coming back and fixing that off camera, and try to put a box in here, and that actually makes a pseudo set of stairs, strangely enough, and it just doesn't seem right. I don't know, that gap there, so there's like a set of stairs in there. Anyway, we need the good old barrow. I think we'll put a barrow in that gap there just to fill it up, and in fact I end up taking this out in the end, but for now we'll just drop that in like that, just to hide the fact that that's floating. And there we go, all good. So that's all the building done. We'll be doing a little bit of a tour, and the tour is going to be a little bit different in 2 seconds. So here you go, guys, we've hopped up on the roof so that you can see the new public occurrences branch of Sunshine Tidings, and we'll hop down in a sec and go and have a look around, and you can leave me comments how close I got this, and how close it looks to the original, the printing side of things. So you can see I've added a few things. I've added a little awning on both of the buildings. There's a lot of little details. If you know this building in Diamond City, you'll recognise a whole lot of little details, like that table there, for instance. Pretty easy thing to decorate, but I think it all ties it and pulls it together, ties it in and pulls it together. See that awning that I've put on, a couple of lights and a printing press and a whole lot of boxes and all kinds of stuff. Very Diamond City-esque. You see that table there is, again, that's another reference to public occurrences in Diamond City. Dogmeat's on his treadmill, as you can see. He's been doing that a lot lately. Now let's go in and see the little public occurrences office. Nice little tight space. It took a fair bit of wangling to get stuff in here, but it wasn't too bad. Shut the door for a sec. Here we go. And you can see the roof. I've changed the roof just slightly, and I've boxed the whole area in. So I hope you've enjoyed this one, guys. It was really nice little build. I'm really happy with the way it turned out, and so is Dogmeat, as you can tell. So on to next week. I need your suggestions. Oh, we'll have a look at. I did junk up a lot of this building as well, by the way. You can see those bits there. So on to next week. What else do we need to build in this settlement? I'm not sure. I've got a couple of ideas, but not. I'm kind of starting to run out of ideas. Hi Ada, how you doing? So I was thinking we might build something in that area there, or maybe towards the gate. Let me know in the comments, guys, and a like rating is always appreciated on the channel. It helps out. I love reading your comments. Thanks for watching. See you later.